Hello, I'm old Mr. Kent, and right over here to my right is my son's old Greyhound bus. And if you notice down underneath the front hood there, that's where the spare tire used to go. It was made in the 70s, and in the 90s it was upgraded to a motor coach that you could live in, and that's where now the generator is. And so we'll start our morning ride, and I'll tell you about all that. So let's get going. Let me see. All right, here we go. And over here on my left-hand side, my son and his daughter are working on vehicles. Bye. Bye. Pardon me. And I got quite a few things to cover, so let's start with the Greyhound bus. Yesterday, I've already told you about his how he converted the forklift because you couldn't get an engine for it. They don't make them anymore. Everything is old, and so he converted it so it would run on a lawnmower engine, and I've already talked about that. So what he did was he used his forklift to pull and I've got some pictures in the video. He used his forklift to pull the generator out and then work on it, and then eventually moved it over and put it under his little canopy that he holds down with coil springs, and then worked on it all day long. And I was with him out there a lot, just keeping company and help when I could, which I did a little bit, not much, but a little bit. And then he finally got it. He got it maintained and replaced a whole bunch of parts that were worn out, and started it up, and it worked. So anyway, I got a video of him doing that. So I'll just let you watch the video, and then I'll come back. All right. So anyway, that's what we did yesterday. Also, over the weekend, this is Monday, the 9th of September. Over the weekend, a good friend of mine from back in Alabama, Jack Temple, who has a website, and I'll put a link to that also. He came to visit. He comes out to this part of the country every couple of months or so, and so or every few months or so. Anyway, and so we visited, had a really good visit for a while, and I'll put up a picture of that. Now I also got a really nice plaque and a letter from a friend that I haven't heard from for a long time. So it's been a really good weekend, although I am getting old. And yesterday, I got to make sure I'm not going to... it's fun. Anyway, yesterday I forgot to eat lunch. I was so busy watching my son and helping my son that I forgot to eat lunch. And so, anyway, so I had a little bit of physical difficulty last night, but everything's good this morning. I got traffic coming around me here. I don't know why they've put dividers or cones down the middle of our street here, but anyway, construction does crazy things. So, the next thing I want to tell you on this ride is that, here comes the car again, is that the brakes are all fixed. Tell you what, electric e-bikes, you can't beat them. They sent me a new front brake free of charge. It was easy to install. And so my brakes are all fixed. Hopefully I don't have to talk about them anymore. And the tires are good and everything. Now if I just take care of it, my E-Trike ought to last me a long time, and I don't have to tell you all about that. So that's all done. So anyway, then once in a while I need to stop and tell you, if you're a new viewer and new to my channel and don't know how come, why do I get called Mr. Kent? And so I'll go back in history. A long time ago, I was teaching at a computer school, and they taught people how to use Microsoft Office mostly. And then when they graduated from that course, then they would be able to go find a job in an office somewhere. And which is, most of the students were single moms that their life had already crashed a little bit. And so they were trying to find, they wanted to find a good, reliable, nice, good paying job. And so the guy that ran the school, just more cars. It's Monday morning and I'm on my E-Trike ride. Anyway, for some reason, one of the classes, the teacher, whether she was new or what, I don't know, but she made the students so mad that they were going to quit. And so they went to the owner and said, "We're going to quit if you don't find somebody else to teach that class." Well, he didn't have anybody else, but he asked me if I would teach 2 classes for a little while. And so I said, okay. So they were so glad to get me after who they'd had. And it was all on a first name basis at that school. So I was just Kent. But they started calling me Mr. Kent because I was so much nicer than the other teacher. And that kind of spread. Everybody in the school started calling me Mr. Kent. And then it wasn't long after that, sometime maybe 6 months or a year, some of the students came up to me and said, oh, here comes another car. No, that's not what they said. Anyway, they came up and they said, we need to practice our typing. And because they had to type, if they wanted an A in that class, they had to type 60 words a minute. And so they came up to me because they knew I programmed and stuff, and they said, can you put up a website or something so we can practice our typing at home? Because if they buy a program to go on their computer to practice it, it's going to cost them $40 or something. And if they come into the lab to practice, then they got to pay for a babysitter. Pardon me. And so, and I didn't mind doing that. So I set up a typing tutor and a typing test. And back then, you could get any name you wanted for a website. It was just all getting started. Here comes another car. It was all getting started, and since they called me Mr. Kent, I set up MrKent.com, MrKent.com, and put so they could find it real easy, and that's where the term Mr. Kent came from. Is the students in that class started calling me that, and then I put up my website, and so then everybody started calling me Mr. Kent. So that's how it is. I didn't ask people to call me Mr. Kent. They just decided to do that. So anyway, that's why I go by Mr. Kent. And let's see what else is there. This is my morning bike ride. Yep. Actually, I'm getting started a little later than normal this morning, but that's all right. Our temperature's dropping a little bit. I'm here in Arizona. And it gets really hot in the summertime. But lately it's just been getting up to about 100 degrees. And so it makes it so it's cooler. It's cooler later in the day, and I don't have to start quite so early in the morning. So let me see, what else is there? Is there anything new that I have forgotten to tell you about? Well, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know that my son is a genius. He knows how to do just about anything, and so he figured out how to make the forklift work, and then figured out how to use the forklift to get the generator engine out of the bus and work on it, put it back in, and it's running fine. We tested it out last night. So anyway, I guess that's about all for this time. I want to thank you for watching my video, and God bless.